Friends. So today we are still talking about coniferous trees that grow up in the shape of a cone and deciduous trees that grow more round and sphere shaped. Let's look at some things we saw in our lesson yesterday. Here is a coniferous tree. Do you see what shape it's growing in? It really does look like a cone. It gets so pointy at the top. We looked at the coniferous tree leaves that are really pointy needles. And we looked at the seeds of coniferous trees that are shaped like a cone also. We saw a pine cone. We also investigated deciduous trees. See how round it is? We saw the deciduous tree has very flat leaves, and its seeds are shaped like spheres too. I wonder if you remember some other things we learned about coniferous and deciduous trees. We learned that the coniferous cone-shaped tree stays always green, even in the winter. The deciduous tree, the leaves drop down after they change colors. So we call the coniferous trees forever green, or they have a nickname called evergreens, because they stay green all year long. So let's see if I can show you pictures and you can tell me if it belongs to coniferous trees that are shaped like cones or deciduous trees that are shaped like spheres. Let's see our first tree. Was this tree shaped like a cone or a sphere that's very round? I noticed how round it is too. This is telling me that it's either a coniferous or deciduous. There's one more thing that this is telling me. Because I see snow on the ground, which means it's winter, and this tree has no leaves. It's completely bare. Is this a coniferous tree or a deciduous tree? If you said deciduous, you are right. It's so round, and in the winter its leaves had all fallen off. Let's look at our next tree. What shape is this tree? Is it shaped like a cone or a round sphere? I think this is cone-shaped too. I'm noticing again in this picture it's winter, and the trees in the background here are bare with no leaves. But this tree still has its green leaves. Do you think this is coniferous or deciduous? It is coniferous. It's shaped like a cone and it stays green all year long. Ooh, interesting. I'm looking at a picture of leaves up close. I see some green leaves here, and this leaf is red. Is this leaf flat or is it pointy like a needle? It is flat and it's changing colors. Is this a coniferous tree or a deciduous tree? This is definitely deciduous. The deciduous trees change color in the fall, and then in the winter, the leaves are all gone. Let's look at this tree up close. Those are leaves too. They look different from the other leaves. They're very pointy, like needles. They do look cone-shaped to me. Do you think this is from a coniferous tree or a deciduous tree? Coniferous. I even see the needles are all green. That was a clue. Okay, let's see if we can find the clue when we look at the seeds. What shape is this seed? It is cone-shaped. I can see in the background some needles. Do you think this seed is from a coniferous tree or a deciduous tree? It is coniferous. The seeds are shaped just like the tree, a cone shape. Let's look at the seeds of this tree. They're very round. They look like spheres. Are these seeds from a coniferous tree or a deciduous tree? They are from a deciduous tree. They're sphere-shaped and very round, just like the deciduous tree. Okay, we sorted our pictures. Before we start our T-chart, I am going to sing our song that helps us to tell the difference between coniferous trees and deciduous trees. You ready? Coniferous trees grow up. Coniferous trees grow up. Hi ho, don't you know? Coniferous trees grow up. Deciduous trees grow out. Deciduous trees grow out. Hi ho, don't you know? Deciduous trees grow out. Okay, friends, so from your envelope, you'll need your T-chart that says coniferous and deciduous. You'll see here is a cone for coniferous and the sphere that we drew to show the deciduous tree. We practiced drawing those yesterday. They're already on your paper. From your supply box, you will need a pencil. And I'm going to use my crayons and my colored pencils today. That's all I need from my supply box. Okay, friends. Well, on the top of my paper, I see a spot that says name, so I'm going to write my name on the line. Ashley. Ashley. Okay. Now, we are going to draw the things that we found on our walk yesterday for our coniferous trees and what we found for our deciduous trees. So first I'm going to start by drawing my coniferous and deciduous tree. Okay, watch me first and then you can draw yours. I know a coniferous tree is very cone-shaped. So I'm going to start with a triangle shape on the top. Let's see if I can do that on the other side. And my stem. I made points to make the coniferous tree because it's so cone-shaped. Even the needles and leaves of the tree are so cone-shaped. I'm gonna get a green crayon because coniferous trees are always green. Their nickname is evergreens because they stay green all year long, even in the winter. Okay, and for my trunk, I'm going to use brown. There is my coniferous tree, very cone-shaped. Okay, now I'm going to draw my deciduous tree. This is going to have to be very round. So the deciduous tree that we saw on our walk yesterday was super, super golden, very yellow. So I'm going to color these leaves yellow. It reminds me of our apple tree that we did, our fall apple tree, when we made that page in our book. Because apple trees turn golden yellow in the fall. Well, that must mean that apple trees are deciduous trees because their leaves change color and then they all fall off in the winter. Okay, my golden leaves, and I'm still going to use brown for my trunk. Okay, there is my deciduous tree. It's super round and sphere-shaped, and the leaves are changing color, which also lets me know it's deciduous. What else did we notice on our walk? That's right. We saw the leaves of a coniferous tree are like needles. They're super pointy. So I'm going to draw a branch. And then I'm going to put all of those needles on it. That looks like the needles from the coniferous tree. So I need to color them green, of course. They're evergreens. They're always green. I'm going to use my colored pencil because these leaves are very thin and pointy. So it's hard to color them with a crayon. It needs a thin pencil. Okay. My branch is pretty thin too, so I'm going to see if I have a brown colored pencil. I do. Okay, there are the leaves of my coniferous tree. Do you remember what nickname we call them? They are leaves, but we have a special name for them because they're so pointy. It starts with the sound N. That's right, needles. The needles. Well, the deciduous tree had a very different leaf. It was very flat. And our leaf had a line down the middle, curved line. Do you remember what color that leaf was from our lesson? We found a couple leaves, but the one that I brought back to school with me was definitely brown. The leaf I brought back had been on the ground for a while, and it dried out and turned all the way brown. I think it was yellow at first. Okay, there's my deciduous leaf. It's very flat. It really looks different from the coniferous needles that we were looking at. Okay, and there's one more thing I found that helps me to tell if a tree is coniferous or deciduous. I found a pine cone that showed me it was a coniferous tree and an acorn that showed me it was a deciduous tree. So I'm going to draw my pine cone first. It's definitely shaped like a cone. So I'm going to make a cone shape. There's my cone shape. And then I'm going to make all the little curves that are on a pine cone. There we go. Do you remember what color the pine cone was? Yep, pine cones are definitely brown. Okay, there's my pine cone. The seed of a coniferous tree. And I have one more seed to draw. Remember when we found that acorn right underneath the tree? It was shaped like a sphere. So I'm going to draw a circle. And then this acorn had a little top on it. We have found lots of acorns at school. I'm going to use a colored pencil for this one. The bottom part of the acorn is a dark brown, and the top is a light brown. So I'm going to push hard on my pencil to make this color very dark on the bottom of my acorn. Then I'm going to color it lightly on the top to make it a light brown. There's my acorn. Okay. Coniferous trees are cone-shaped trees with very pointy needle leaves. And their seeds are shaped like cones too. The deciduous tree is very round. The leaves change colors. In the winter, they fall all the way to the ground and the trees are completely bare. Their leaves are very flat and broad. And look at the shape of their seeds. So round, just like a sphere. I can't wait to see your coniferous and deciduous work. Make sure you put it in your envelope for me to check. Great job, friends. We'll have to look around our school to tell if we can find out if the tree is coniferous or deciduous. Now you know the difference. I bet we have lots of different kinds of trees. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye, friends.